first and foremost, it's a fucking kids movie. Like legit a kids movie. And I know that we live in a world where kids movies get nominated for Academy Awards and all that. Listen, when I say it's a kids movie on the level of like Rescue Rangers. Like it's not Toy Story 3.
Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes. It's not it's not Coco. Let's just put it that way.
No.
When I say kids movie, like basic surface level animation mixed with a hint of like message for the kiddies. That's what I mean by kids movie. All right. It's a kids movie. It wasn't made for 30-year-olds. It wasn't made for 35-year-old men like us. It just was not. It was not. I'm sorry. And I know we're all nerds. I'm a nerd. You're a nerd. We're all nerds. We like nerd shit. But come on, sit here and spend hours upon hours on social media bagging Space Jam, writing I literally scrolled through Facebook and seen people with dissertations about why the 96 Space Jam was better than Space Jam: A New Legacy. Like, seriously, this is what we're doing.
Well,
this is what we're doing.
It's ridiculous. And as
we have a homelessness crisis, we have people that are still dying from COVID, but Space Jam: A New Legacy is the crime against humanity that we cannot stay shut.
It's a very important issue, Manny. I actually just discovered the banner option on StreamYard, so I have Leave Space Jam Alone going across the bottom. For those of you who are watching, that is something I just discovered. I'm going to have a ridiculous time with. Get used to it.
Yes.
Unlike Manny, I don't carry LeBron hater card. I actually work for the man, so I can't publicly say anything bad about him. With that said,
yes. He signs the checks. His name's on the bottom of the check there. It'll be a little awkward.
With that said, if you are someone who is overanalyzing, overcritiquing a movie for literally like for like 8-year-olds, for like the demographic of this movie is like 4 to 12. Like if you bring your children to the movie, they enjoy it. That should be the litmus test. Period. That's it. Did your son or daughter like the movie?
Yes,
oh, they did. That's all.
My
that
daughters
matters.
who don't watch basketball, they wanted to watch Space Jam because of McDonald's cartoon, because of the McDonald's toys and the Happy Meal. They were into it. They loved it. They loved everything about it. They enjoyed it. That's it.
That's all
that's
matters.
Important. That's all that matters.
There should be no movie critic writing this up. As a matter of fact, we should get like 8-year-olds from like urban neighborhoods to write movie reviews on Space Jam, and those should be the official reviews.
I'm with it.
That'd be great.
Listen, if it wasn't late, I'd have my kids right now dropping a dissertation about why Space Jam: A New Legacy is like the greatest movie ever. Like,
that is more valid.
That's what it is. It's come on. It's a fucking kids movie, guys. Like, come on, literally. And then the other thing too, the idea that Michael Jordan was Sidney Poitier back in 1996. Like, you know, it was a masterclass in acting. Like, it was Denzel Training Day. It was Al Pacino, Serpico, Scent of a Woman, Michael Jordan, in that order, like literally in that order. Great performances throughout history. You know, James Dean, James Stewart, Michael Jordan, Space Jam.
Oh, but
hallowed performances. Stop it.
I saw some like criticisms of Zendaya as Lola Bunny. Like, they didn't like the fact that she was Lola. I saw some weird things of like the fact that Lola looks different this time around, and they don't like the little upgrades that they did.
Because I'm sorry that there's no display of bunny tits or bunny cleavage.
Bunny ass.
So apparently bunny ass. Yeah. So apparently now this is a crime against humanity. Now we're too woke as a society because Lola Bunny can't show her ass.
The left is taking cancel culture way too far.
Yeah,
Manny.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
You're right. We've won. We've won. We've accomplished the ultimate goal.
We did it.
In the annals of time, it was like Medicare for all.
Right.
It was Medicare for all.
And put some clothes on Lola. Clothes for Lola.
Right. Even my dog agrees. She's out there in the garage just mad now because, you know,
we did it
because I put her in the garage, and B, because
we dressed Lola Bunny. We did it.
Because we dressed Lola Bunny. Yeah. No, listen. Yes, I know, Duchess. I know it's terrible. Listen, again, and I will never miss an opportunity to bag on LeBron James. But come on, we gotta have we've got to have better things to talk about than Space Jam. No, you know, and it wasn't even like people were just like, oh, I think it sucked, or oh, it wasn't as good as I thought it would be. Like, no, people literally writing dissertations about this shit.
Yeah.
Man,
it's ridiculous.
Scene by scene. I mean, what are you, Roger Ebert? What the fuck? Like, this is guy. Come on, man, stop it. And again, Michael was not Sidney Poitier.
No
one will confuse Michael Jordan with
Space Jam alone, people.
with Marlon Brando. No
Right.
one.
No.
No one. Space Jam 96 was not Apocalypse Now. It was not.
The only criteria is, did your kids like the movie? That's it. Move on.
That is it. That is it.
Move
It's
on.
the only criteria. That is the only criteria that should exist, and that is it. And that's the only criteria that I'm sticking with. So, and it's the number one movie in the world right now, and
It is.
unseated Black Widow and all those things. So it was a success. People took their kids to go watch it, and yeah, man, credit to
how many
LeBron.
stars, Manny? How many stars?
It was a solid 2-star movie, man.
2
It's
stars.
good. It's solid. It's 2.5 stars. It's
2.5.
2.5 stars.
I'm having too much fun with the
solid movie. You take your kid, they have a good time. It's a good movie, man. It's fine.
We should have never went live. I'm gonna have too much fun with this.
Way too much.
There's leaves in the background.
Yeah, 2.5 stars. 2.5 stars, man. But yeah, man, shout out to all the creators of Space Jam. It was a successful weekend for LeBron. That is cool for LeBron to have the number one
absolutely
movie in America.
It's dope, man. And Space Jam was such a big part of my childhood. If I'm gonna get serious, and I think that's the reason why some people are so nostalgic for it. It's like, oh, you can't top it. Also, this is another thing. I actually think a lot of people attach the music and the soundtrack from the first Space Jam and apply it to what the movie was. The soundtrack was so legendary. And listen, I didn't listen to this.
The soundtrack was dope.
I didn't listen to this second Space Jam soundtrack.
Minus a certain someone who believed he could fly.
Oh, he yeah. Let's not get into that.
Yeah,
but even aside from that, like there were other bangers and dope songs on that.
Yeah.
On that soundtrack too. So I think a lot of people just have an attachment to just the nostalgia of not just the movie, but the music and the culture that surrounds it. And Michael Jordan being at the peak of his profession, like when that Space Jam came out, I mean, it was just like everything wrapped into one. It was just total 90s nostalgia. And I think people miss that. And, with LeBron, he's at the end of his career. He's on the Lakers. He was injured this year. The Lakers not fighting for a championship. The soundtrack, I'm not saying it was good or bad. I haven't listened to it, but
is there even a soundtrack?
I know like Game has a song, and I think The Baby has a song. I'm not really sure. But yeah, exactly. To your point, is there even a soundtrack? It just pretty much shows that the soundtrack's not on par with the first one. So I just think it's more of the nostalgia that's getting to people.